They hid this from you, the real formula for mental alchemy. This ain't no metaphor, no modern self-help talk. It's a forbidden technique that can wipe out your current reality and rewrite a whole new life in minutes. This formula was locked away for centuries inside hidden texts, and only 1% of spiritual seekers ever got access to its true power. If you made it this far, it means something inside you already knows the life you're living was never really yours. Every decision, every belief, every limit was planted in your mind before you even had a chance to think for yourself. But that ends today, because now you're about to learn the secret formula that can dissolve this invisible programming and give you back the power to create your own reality like a true alchemist. The real alchemists were never just metal manipulators or treasure hunters looking for physical gold. They were the ones who understood the invisible structure of reality, the guardians of a secret humanity forgot. Everything that exists out there is created first in here. Matter isn't solid or fixed, it's flexible, shapeable, and obeys the mind that's observing it. This isn't some empty mysticism. This is the first Hermetic Law. The all is mind. The whole universe is an expression of consciousness. That means the reality around you isn't some absolute truth. It's a projection of what you believe, what you feel, and what you expect. The chair you sit on, the walls around you, your bank account, the struggles in your life, even the relationships you attract. All of it is matter, shaped by the vibration you hold in the invisible. Every thought that loops in your head, every emotion you feel without questioning, every belief you inherited and accepted without realizing, all of it works like a hidden mold. Matter just bends to fit the mold. The ancients called this mental alchemy. Before you turn lead into gold, you got to turn fear into clarity, scarcity into flow, doubt into certainty. This isn't stage magic. It's a deep understanding that the outside world is always just a reflection of who you are inside. If you believe the world is hostile, your mind tunes your senses to spot danger around every corner. If you believe money is dirty, your subconscious throws up invisible walls that block your prosperity. If you believe love equals pain, your energy pulls in people who prove you right. You don't see the world as it really is. You see the world as you are. And yourself isn't what you say out loud. It's what you feel in the silence of your soul. It's what you believe when no one's watching. It's what echoes in the back of your mind when the house is quiet. That's why, as long as your inner alchemy runs on fear, scarcity, guilt, and powerlessness, matter will keep obeying those frequencies. It doesn't matter how hard you try to change the outside conditions. The formula always pulls things back to the original pattern you carry inside. Matter is neutral. It just responds. It doesn't argue with you. It just reflects. The reality you call your life is nothing but silent obedience to what you vibrate. The alchemists knew the real transmutation didn't happen in a metal cauldron. It happened in the inner lab of consciousness. This is the hidden game nobody taught you. Reality doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And if your mind is the mold, your life is the printout. And that's exactly why your reality always seems just out of your control. You're not just observing the world around you. You're silently negotiating with it every single second. Every thought you accept without questioning, every belief you repeat like gospel, every behavior that locks in a pattern, you're signing an invisible contract with reality itself. A contract that says what's allowed to happen in your life and what can never be possible for you. But here's the part nobody told you. You didn't write that contract. It was handed to you since you were a kid. School, family, religion, and society whispered a ready-made script into your ears day after day. Money is hard. Happiness is rare. Success only comes with struggle. Spirituality and wealth don't mix. Good people live with less. Heaven is for the humble, and pleasure is dangerous. You heard these lines so many times they sank into the deepest layers of your mind. And even as an adult, even after seeking spiritual knowledge, these formulas still run like background programs. They're reversed alchemical formulas, turning gold into lead, light into weight, freedom into a cage. Let me tell you a story to make this even clearer. Once upon a time, A young alchemy apprentice went looking for a master known for his ability to turn any metal into gold. The boy crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and swam across rivers to find this master. When he finally arrived, exhausted but full of hope, he asked the master to teach him the secret formula of transmutation. The master looked at him and said, "Before I teach you the formula, I need to show you your own metal." The master took him to a dark room where there was a scale. On one side, a shiny piece of gold. On the other side, the master asked the boy to place all his beliefs about money, success, love, and spirituality, one by one. The boy wrote down and placed each belief. Money is hard, love hurts, spirituality and wealth don't mix, happiness is rare. With every belief placed on the scale, the gold lost its shine. By the last belief, the gold had turned into a heavy lump of lead. The master just smiled and said, "This is your real alchemy. It doesn't matter what I teach you. As long as you carry reversed formulas inside, every piece of gold you touch will turn to lead." The boy stood in silence, staring at his own reflection in the darkened metal. In that moment, he realized the real formula for transmutation didn't start outside. It started inside. Just like that boy, you were also taught to run your mind using reversed formulas. You were trained to doubt abundance and side-eye happiness. You were conditioned to believe that the spiritual path is a path of sacrifice, and that success is a narrow door only a few can squeeze through, while most will fail. These formulas created an invisible game where you're always starting from behind. A game where you fight to achieve things your own mind secretly believes you don't deserve. A game where every win gets sabotaged soon after because your inner program won't let you hold on to abundance for long. This is the hidden game trapping most people. It's not the government, it's not the economy, it's not fate. It's your own signature on that invisible contract. Vitriol, the journey to the center of your truth. The descent into your inner underworld, symbolized by vitriol, is the most feared and most necessary step of true spiritual alchemy. The ancient masters knew that transforming your outer reality can only happen when you go down into the basement of your own soul and face everything you were taught to hide: your shadows, your poisoned beliefs, your unresolved wounds, and the invisible contracts you signed with fear and limitation. This journey isn't just some pretty metaphor. It's a real rite of passage. That's why the old alchemical texts said the true gold is born from the depths of the earth, not from the sky. That means the power to transform your reality doesn't come from escaping to higher dimensions or becoming some light being who denies their humanity. It comes from visiting the dark soil of your own mind, where your distorted truths were planted and where the roots of your invisible prison dig deep. Vitriol is an acronym that holds the full map for this descent, but almost nobody really understands what it means. Visito interiora terrae, rectificando invenies occultum lapidem. Roughly translated, it says, visit the interior of the earth. By rectifying it, you'll find the hidden stone. But what is this earth? This earth is your unconscious, the hidden territory where your forgotten memories, buried traumas, inherited beliefs, and denied shadows live. It's where your past still breathes, quietly steering your choices today. And what does rectifying mean? Rectify means to purify. It's looking at the distortions in your mind with courage and rewriting the stories that chained you. It's grabbing every belief about scarcity, unworthiness, or limitation and dissolving its lie, pulling out the poison they've been leaking inside you. And the hidden stone? That stone is your original inner power. It's your forgotten ability to consciously create reality instead of being a slave to the programs you inherited. The philosopher's stone was never some physical substance. It was always a state of consciousness, the state of someone who made it through their own inner hell and came back with brand new eyes to see reality. Eyes that are clear, free, able to see possibilities where there used to be nothing but walls. But here's the part nobody tells you. This descent triggers real pain, because when you visit your inner earth, you don't just find wisdom. You find all the versions of yourself that got rejected along the way. The child who was humiliated, the teenager whose dreams got laughed at, the adult who betrayed themselves just to be accepted. All those versions of you are still alive down there waiting for you to come get them. Vitriol is the path to bring those lost parts back home. And this isn't just theory. It's spiritual, psychological, and energetic work. Every part of yourself you've rejected is power you lost. Every part you reclaim and reintegrate brings your life force back online. The alchemists called this solve et coagula. First, dissolve the lie, then rebuild a new truth. That's why so many people try to create a new reality and fail. They try to coagulate, create, before they've dissolved, cleared the old junk. They try to slap gold on top of lead, without realizing the lead is still rotting underneath, poisoning the whole foundation. If you want to rewrite your reality in minutes, like the title says, the first key is this: go down. Face your shadows with courage, not with self-pity or judgment, but with the authority of someone who came to collect what's theirs. Your power to create, your hidden stone, and just understanding this intellectually isn't enough. This is something you have to feel. You need to descend fully present, touch your old pain, and turn it into power. You have to walk through the inner maze where your fear voices still whisper, and look every single one of them in the eye and say, I don't obey you anymore. Mental alchemy, the forbidden formula to create reality. This inner rebirth doesn't just happen randomly. It follows a precise formula, an alchemical sequence as old as the very first Hermetic texts. This formula, known as mental alchemy, is the real forbidden secret, not because it was locked away in secret libraries, but because it's dangerous to any system built on control. The human mind is an alchemical furnace, and like any furnace, it can burn away impurities, dissolve what's been crystallized, and create something brand new out of nothing. This formula breaks down into 3 stages, and each one is a key to rewriting your reality. The first stage is calcination. This is the inner fire that burns your limiting beliefs down to ashes. No reality can be transformed as long as you still believe the lies you were told. That's why calcination is brutal. It's the moment you sit with yourself and write down, one by one, every invisible rule you've accepted without questioning. Write it. Money is hard. Burn it. Love equals suffering. Burn it. Spiritual people must live in lack. Burn it. Each one of these beliefs is a program contaminating your mind like lead. Calcination is the inner ritual of lighting that fire and letting all of it burn until there's nothing left but empty space, space for a new truth. But burning beliefs is just the beginning. The second stage is dissolution. This is where your conditioned ego has to be dismantled. That ego isn't you. It's a mask you built to survive the social game. It's made of your family's expectations, your teachers' voices, religion, culture, and every unresolved experience from your past. Dissolution is when you stare at that mask and make the choice to dive beyond it. You start realizing you are not your job, not your name, not your life story. You're not the losses you took, not the titles you earned. You are the empty space watching all of it happen. A pure, silent space where every reality is possible. In that space, you realize something terrifying and freeing at the same time. If you're not your old stories, you're free to write any new story you want. But this kind of freedom is dangerous for the ego, because without its old narratives, it has no clue who it is. This moment is the threshold between the old self and the new. And that's where the third stage of the formula begins, coagulation. Now that the old has been burned and dissolved, you're left with a blank canvas. Coagulation is the act of crystallizing a brand new identity, but this time, an identity created by you, not by the world around you. You become the conscious alchemist of your own mind, someone who doesn't just react to the world, but projects their intentions, symbols, and choices, shaping reality like a work of art. This formula has always been here. It's in the Hermetic texts, the ancient alchemical manuscripts, and the real spiritual traditions. But they called it forbidden because nobody wants you to find out you have this power, because a human being who understands their mind is the cauldron of creation, can't be controlled by dogma, by governments, or by belief systems that feed off your fear and compliance. This mental alchemy is the real legacy of the masters, But it can only be unlocked by those with the courage to lose the old self to find something bigger. That's the price of freedom. It's not comfort, not safety, and not social acceptance. It's walking through the fire, descending into the void, and rising up as something new. Reality is a reflection of your vibration. It's right after you go through calcination, dissolution, and coagulation that an even deeper truth reveals itself. The ancient masters always knew the mind isn't just a tool for logical thinking. It's a projector. Every mental image you hold inside yourself isn't just a random daydream. It's a vibrational command you're sending out into the invisible field of reality. Paracelsus used to say that what a man imagines, he becomes, because alchemists knew imagination is the hidden key to creation. This is where science and magic meet. It's not about positive thinking or cute affirmations. It's about understanding that your mental images directly shape the ether, that invisible substance that gives form to matter. Ether isn't just some esoteric metaphor disconnected from reality. The ancients called it the fifth element, and today we know there's a quantum field, a flexible web of possibilities that responds to the consciousness observing it. Every mental image you nurture is a seed dropped into that field. If your mind constantly projects failure, fear, loss, or rejection, those mental images start condensing into a reality made of lead. This isn't punishment or a curse, it's simple vibrational law. You coagulate the same type of matter as the images you create, but the opposite is also true. If you master the art of consciously creating mental images that match the reality you actually want to live, those images start shaping the ether into vibrational gold. Your mind becomes an alchemical furnace, and every thought you visualize with intention becomes an energetic signature traveling through the invisible field. The real alchemists were never out here just trying to turn metal into physical gold. That whole story was just a cover to protect the real knowledge. The real transformation was about taking a mind filled with distorted, low-frequency images and transmuting it into a mind filled with bright images, elevated symbols, and powerful visualizations that shape reality like an artist painting a masterpiece. But here's the part almost nobody gets. These mental images only have real power when they're loaded with emotion. A picture without emotion is just a cold sketch. Emotion without a picture is just a wild impulse with no direction. When you fuse a clear vision with a strong emotion, you create a vibrational matrix powerful enough to bend the physical world. That's what the ancients called operative magic, creating a vision so charged with energy that the universe has no choice but to respond to it. This is where the Kybalion comes in. Out of all the secrets revealed by the three initiates, one has the power to shatter everything you think you know about life. Everything vibrates. Nothing rests. That truth isn't just a spiritual metaphor. It's a vibrational key that connects you directly to the invisible engine of reality. Every atom in your body vibrates at a specific frequency. Every thought sends out a vibrational pulse. Every word you speak releases a subtle wave, and every emotion, whether you're aware of it or not, is a note echoing through the ether, shaping the field around you. The moment you get this, you can never look at your life the same way again. Most people spend their whole lives thinking their struggles come from the outside. They blame the government, the economy, the past, their family, bad luck, even some kind of spiritual punishment. But that belief is the first layer of the prison. Because in the alchemical universe, taught by the Kybalion, there's no inside and outside. There's only vibration and resonance. You don't attract what you want, you attract what vibrates like you. Your body is a transmitter. Your mind is a broadcasting tower. Your emotions are the frequency dial. And your reality is the exact reflection of whatever you're putting out. The Kybalion makes it clear. Every plane of existence vibrates at its own frequency. From the densest matter to the highest spirit, everything is in motion. If you don't know your own frequency, you live on autopilot. Tuned into frequencies you inherited from your family, your culture, your childhood traumas, and everything you accepted as truth without questioning. Now, listen close. If your vibration is full of fear, scarcity, guilt, or shame, the universe responds by bringing you events, people, and situations that match that exact frequency. It's not punishment. It's not spiritual morality. It's pure vibrational mechanics. Vibration is a silent language, and the universe doesn't hear your words. It hears the frequency behind them. And this is why some people seem cursed with endless bad luck, while others move through life like they're backed by some invisible force. It's not luck, it's frequency. A vibration of trust, gratitude, and openness to the unknown creates resonance with opportunities, connections, and synchronicities that vibrate on that same note. But here's the part nobody talks about. Changing your vibration isn't about standing in front of a mirror repeating affirmations and hoping for a miracle. That's spiritual cosmetics. Real vibrational transmutation requires a deep dive into yourself. It takes courage to confront every hidden belief, every buried resentment, every vibrational program still living inside you, running the show without your conscious permission. And the key to all of this is awareness. What do you feel when you wake up in the morning? What's the first image your mind projects onto your day? What's the invisible tone of your voice when you talk about money, relationships, the future, or your purpose? That's real vibrational alchemy. You can't manipulate the gold of outer reality if you're still vibrating lead inside yourself. That's why the Kabbalion teaches, whoever controls their own vibration controls their own reality. Reality rewriting ritual, direct alchemical practice. This is the moment where knowledge stops being theory and turns into living practice. Alchemy doesn't happen in the realm of ideas. It's a hands-on operation inside the lab of your mind and soul. And the first step of this reality rewriting ritual is exposing what's been hidden, because you can't transmute what you can't see. Grab a notebook, a blank sheet, or even your phone, and write down, right now, the 5 invisible beliefs that secretly run your life. Be real with yourself. What are the hidden phrases your mind repeats in the background while you live on autopilot? You might discover that deep down you believe money only comes through struggle, or that true love doesn't exist, or that spirituality and prosperity can't go hand in hand. Each one of these phrases is a hidden program running in your subconscious like a reversed alchemical formula. Now, apply the secret of Solviet Coagula. First, dissolve that belief. Question it until it falls apart. Where did it come from? Who convinced you of this? Is it a universal truth, or just a piece of conditioning you swallowed without realizing it? Dissolution happens when you break the spell of the belief and see it for what it is. Just a story somebody told you, not an unshakable law of the universe. Then, coagulate. Choose a new truth to fill that empty space. Something that expands your consciousness instead of shrinking it. Don't just slap on a shallow, positive affirmation. You need to craft a truth so real, so aligned, that your mind accepts it as legit. Something like, money is neutral energy, and I'm an open channel for prosperity. Or, I'm worthy of love because love is my natural state. Once you've done that, every single day, you're going to visit this new truth inside your own mental emerald tablet. Close your eyes and visualize this new belief turning into reality. See scenes from your life reflecting this truth. Feel the emotions of this new reality. Hear your own inner voice declaring this truth with confidence. This is the real act of alchemical projection. It's not hoping or wishing. It's commanding the subtle matter of reality through images and emotions charged with intention. And every time an old belief tries to creep back in, you touch the center of your chest, your own alchemical core, and firmly declare, I transmute this illusion into pure gold of consciousness. This simple declaration is a powerful key because it blends word, gesture, and intention, creating a vibrational rupture that dissolves the old programming and locks in the new one. This takes you straight to one of the most guarded secrets in alchemy's history. For centuries, ancient texts lied to the eyes of outsiders. They made the world believe the philosopher's stone was some physical substance that could turn base metals into gold, but that was nothing but a smokescreen to protect the real mystery. The true masters knew the philosopher's stone was never a thing. It's an awakened state of consciousness. The stone is the alchemists themselves, after dissolving their illusions, facing their shadows, and reclaiming the creative power of their own mind. The stone is the inner state of someone who doesn't just understand, but fully commands the process of turning psychological lead into spiritual gold. That's the real secret of the royal art. There's no external talisman, no magic powder, no miracle elixir. The stone is forged inside you, in the fire of your own awakening. And now you know what they always try to hide. Reality isn't solid, it's negotiable. It obeys the consciousness that observes it. The rules aren't set in stone, they're written and rewritten every single day by the inner state of the one who creates them. Whoever follows without questioning becomes lead. Whoever picks up the pen and writes their own reality becomes gold. And now, one inevitable question echoes inside you. Now that you know, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Because neutrality is no longer an option. Either you master this process, or you get mastered by it. Either you become the conscious alchemist, or you stay raw material, shaped by forces you can't even see. Before you go, I need to tell you something. A special video was set aside, made specifically for those who made it this far and felt like this message was a direct call to your soul. And one more thing for those who really want to dive deep into this alchemical journey. I left, in the first pinned comment, 2 rare and essential book recommendations to help you go even further into the knowledge you just unlocked. And if you feel like this content needs to keep going, and you want to directly support the channel, there's also a link in that same pinned comment, where you can send a donation, along with a message, whether it's a topic suggestion, a question, or even just a thank you for this content. Every bit of support helps keep this flame alive, and make sure even more hidden secrets get revealed in the next videos.